You've probably thought this before. Another test? No thanks. We've done MBTI, DISC, colors, strengths. I don't need any more paperwork. Fair. If I were you, I'd think the same. Because most tools eat time and give you pretty charts that don't change a single behavior. So let's fix that misconception right now. In this short tutorial, I'll show you exactly how the EPA behavioral map works, why it takes less than half an hour to complete, and how it can save you hours of meetings and miscommunication when leading your people. And since you don't have time for theory, I'll open 2 real tests. 2 team members who could barely work together without wanting to strangle each other, and show you what was really going on underneath. We'll use just 2 examples because it's easy to follow on screen, but keep in mind that the EPA test can map entire teams or departments in one go. Before we dive into our demonstration, let's underscore an important truth. If you lead people, time is your currency. You'll agree. You can't waste it on long workshops and endless team building sessions that end with polite smiles and then 0 behavioral change. So here's the deal. The EPA test takes about 20 minutes to complete. That's it. And the result? A map that shows what happens to behavior under pressure. Because that's when people show you who they really are, not in calm meetings, but in the heat of deadlines and intense collaborations. Now, let me prove it to you. So here you have your 2 team members. On the left-hand side, we have person A. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have person B. Now, even without you knowing anything about this test, you can see how they are different. Person A is highly organized and disciplined, and she's very structured. She's also very assertive and clear and goal-oriented. Okay, she is not, however, very good with relationships, or at least certain parts of relationships. She's got good empathy, she's warm, but she doesn't really listen, and she doesn't really talk, and she doesn't really like to engage with other people. Let's move on to now person B. Person B is not as efficient as person A. You can see by the blue columns, which represent personal efficiency. She's definitely not as assertive and goal-oriented. You can look at the red columns, and she is extremely predisposed and open to relationships. You can see how this could create some tensions. On one hand, person A wants things done now, clear, efficient, scheduled. When her teammate slows down to discuss feelings or alignment, she feels blocked, like the world is made of molasses and is turning upside down. At the same time, person B experiences A as overwhelming and cold. Her compliance makes her avoid conflict because she's not as assertive and as goal-oriented. So she silently resists instead of maybe confronting and having an open conversation with person A. So this is what good people but bad chemistry looks like at work. They both care, they both work hard, they are both loyal to the team and to the company, but behaviorally they're incompatible without some strategic guidance. Guidance that you get stuck as the team leader, you get stuck giving to them over and over again. Here's the thing. Without the EPA test, you'd waste weeks diagnosing this and speaking to them on the phone individually because one is complaining about the other. You would call another meeting, you would talk about communication, collaboration, maybe even bring in a facilitator. The EPA test clears it all in one session. You can literally see the mismatch. High structure versus high relationship. Assertive versus compliant. But now, thanks to the EVO test, you can coach specifics. You can ask person A to invite input before maybe locking in the plan. You can teach person B to voice concerns instead of waiting until things fall apart and she's all stressed out, calling you. The result is that deadlines are met, there's less friction between them, and there's no drama that you need to take care of. And that's only with 2 people. Imagine 20. If you have been managing people for a while, you probably have tools that you are using right now. So do I really need another one? I can hear you. I can imagine you asking. But the EVO test doesn't replace what you already have. It finishes what these tools start. Personality models describe tendencies. The EVO test maps behavior when those tendencies collide under the daily pressure of working in a business. Think of it like this. Personality tools tell you who people think they are, and the EVO test shows you what they do when reality disagrees with them. That's the missing link between awareness and results. See that? It isn't theory. It's your next performance review in color. When you can see behavior, you stop guessing. Your meetings get shorter, feedback gets cleaner, and people know exactly what to adjust within themselves and the other person. It's not psychology, it's team cohesiveness and leadership efficiency. The EVO test turns team management from emotional negotiation into visible, measurable structure. So if you're leading a team and this sounds familiar, like someone's frustrated, someone's quiet, everyone's tired of talking about the same problems, get in touch with me. We'll take one real challenge from your team, from your organization, and we'll see how the EVO test can help you decode it. No fluff, no sign-up labyrinth, just clarity. Because your time is too expensive to waste on blind spots. Talk to you soon.